There are the list of adjectives, and these are the markers that you're going to be able to use as we go into the having to use these as a subject. But right now, since we're using these as a direct object, we're going to go back and pick up on the verbs that we have, the group 1 verbs that we have that's going to take an agent marker, and we're going to look at those with the direct object, the agent person mark, the affected person markers. We saw in the examples words like apila, and we had the word pinsa. But let's go back. Let's go back to chapter 6. We have verbs like on page 55, apila, hokle, hoyo, isso. Apila is going to take a direct object. Hokle, hoyo, isso. Those words will take a direct object. Apila, hokle, hoyo, and isso. There are 4 words in that verb vocabulary list will take a direct object. I want you to use the following words in a sentence using an agent person marker as a direct object. I'll write down the sentence. Okay, use the following verbs in Choctaw sentences using the affected person markers as direct objects. Apila, hokle, hoyo, and isso. And send with the translations, please. And I'll wait for your work to come in. Okay. We're working in affected person markers, which are, we are looking at these as direct objects. Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get that back. Okay, let's go back and try something else. We have looked at the affected person markers. So if we're going to, I was saying that we're going to use active verbs that take agent person markers, but we're looking at affected person markers, and your instructions were to make sentences using the affected person markers as direct objects. And I want you to, you can't get more proficient in building sentences if you don't make your Choctaw sentences first. You have to make your Choctaw sentences first. You can't make your English sentences and then try to make your Choctaw sentences to match. Make your Choctaw sentences first. The first word was apila. If you're going to use this as a verb that takes a direct object, you're going to say the words like si apila. You're going to say words like chiapila. Perhaps we should have done this first. Help you. And then we have apila, which is going to be using the third person marker for help her. Then we have piapila for help us. Then we have hapiapila. Then we have hachiapila. This is what I was wanting to for you to understand. When we looked at the chart, we looked at how all of these are going to be used. We're using what we call a group 1 verb. Group 1 verbs are those that take an agent marker, an agent pronoun. They are nouns that are going to take an agent subject. They can be a noun, it can be a pronoun. But we looked at the agent person markers, and they're going to have an active verb. Then we have the third person, unmarked third person marker. And this is how you have to understand the use of the direct object. Affected person markers as direct objects. When we're using the word apila to say help me, we would use the SI form. Why do we use the SI? At the top of page 64, it gives you the information on when to use sa, when to use si. Siapila. Help you would be chiapila. And it tells you also at the top of page 64 that the affected person marker is going to come directly before the verb. In the case of third person, you only say the verb, just as you did in the agent markers. Just as you did in the agent markers, you're going to see just the verb being used. Chiapila, siapila, piapila. This is using the direct object. The affected person marker as a direct object is not I. It's going to be using the direct object. You're going to see the affected person marker being affected by the verb. I was looking at some of the work. There seems to be a misunderstanding on how to use the affected person markers as direct objects. And this is what we went over in our lesson on Friday. And we had a couple of sentences for you to translate. And then the same thing would happen if we use the term hoyo. Hoyo. The only thing that would change here would be you're going to change si to sa. Sahoyo, chihoyo, hoyo, pihoyo, hapihoyo. This is how you should have worked with your affected person markers as direct object. Sahoyo, chihoyo, pihoyo, hapihoyo, hachihoyo. We're going to work on these some more. Then we have the word eso. This is just showing you how these are going to be used with active verbs to say, look for me, look for you, look for it, look for us, look for all of us, look for all of you, look for them. Isso, saso, hit me, hit you, hit it, hit us, hit all of us, hit all of you, hit them. This is how you should have used your affected person markers as the direct object. Because we haven't learned how to use these as subjects of the sentence. We can use the affected person markers as subject of the sentence, but we're going to learn them how to use them as direct objects first. Okay, I'm just going to read through these, and where you need to make corrections, I will correct them for you. And when you hear these, you're going to recognize them as your sentences. The first one says, Hoponi chiapila lituk. Hoponi chiapila lituk. I helped you cook. This is correct because it says helped you. I helped you. Help you is the term we're looking for, and that's correct. Excuse me. Pilashash nani pihoklituk. Pilashash nani pihoklituk. This does not say we caught fish yesterday. Pilashash nani pihoklituk. You're making nani as the subject of the sentence, and then you say caught us. Pihokli means caught, or pihoklituk means caught us. It doesn't say we did the catching. It says caught us. So that sentence needs to be redone. Now the next one says akankushia pihoyo tuk. Pihoyo is looked for us, but you have made akankushia as the subject of eggs looked for us. So that's not saying what, that's not your correct translation. Akankushia pihoyo tuk is saying that the eggs looked for us. So looked for us is correct in the Choctaw, but you need to rework your translation. If the eggs are looking for us, then it would be correct. But you're not saying we look for eggs. You're saying the eggs look for us. Tuwaya chiso. Tuwaya chiso. This is saying the ball hit you. It doesn't say you hit the ball. You is not the subject of the sentence. Chiso means hit you. So that sentence needs to be reworked and redone. Okay, the next one says, okay, these are Choctaw English sentences first, so I don't know which you did first. Always send me your Choctaw sentence first. You say hatakat siapila tuk. Hatakat siapila tuk. Siapila tuk is correct in its structure, but you're saying helped me. Helped me. You're not saying I helped the man. Siapila tuk is helped me, not I helped. Siapila tuk is help me. So that's not a correct sentence. And then you say, Ofi pihokle tuk. That doesn't say we caught the dog. We haven't learned how to use these affected person markers as subjects of the sentence. We've only looked at them as direct objects, and we're still there. This doesn't say we caught the dog. You're saying, without the subject marker, you're saying the dog caught us. Ofi is not the subject of this. We is not the subject of the sentence. We have only learned how to use the affected person markers as me, you in the singular, he, him, her, or it, us all, you all, and them. And this one says, Katos hachihoya tuk. Katos hachihoya tuk. Without the subject marker, this would say, the cat's looking for us, or the cat looked for us. Allah nakniyat is sotowatuk. Allah nakniyat is sotowatuk. You're saying the boy hit the dog, but you have the word towa in here for ball. So all those sentences need to be reworked. Make your Choctaw sentences first. And you can look at the structure of the sentences on page 60 and on page 61 as well. And it tells you that your person marker is going to come before the verb, but always look for the structure of the sentence. You can use nouns or pronoun as the subjects of the sentence, but your affected person markers will be your direct objects. Okay, this one, Sashkiat Siapila Tuk. I have no translations for these. This one says, Pilashash Kata Chiapila Tuk. Chiapila Tuk is the proper structure, but your sentence is not translated correctly. Okay, and this one you have your English sentence first. Then you say Hatakmat Kata Hoyo Tuk. You don't have an affected person marker in this sentence. The next one says, whom is she helping today? Kata apila. You don't have an affected person marker in this sentence. Shukatia shongshi hoklituk. There is no affected person marker in this sentence. So Wednesday we will look at how we're going to form these affected person markers with verbs. We'll look at some more of those when we come back. Napunaklo hashinshi.